Victoria has been a Labor Party stronghold. There's now been an anti-corruption commission and a leaked report and its draft conclusions which found that the culture within the Victorian ALP was unethical and led to the misuse of public funds and provided jobs for factional mates. How do you ask voters on Saturday week to support Labor in Victoria, which would be an endorsement of this stuff?
Now, one of the things that I did, Alan, as the Labor leader was intervene into both the New South Wales branch of the Labor Party but also the Victorian branch of the Labor Party. I appointed, along with Daniel Andrews, we appointed Steve Bracks, the former Premier, and Jenny Macklin, to clean up the branch, to make sure that those issues were dealt with. We removed 4,000 people from the roles in Victoria, making sure that we stamped out any of these practices. Where I see wrongdoing, I will act. And that stands in stark contrast as well. We have a candidate in Queensland for Scott Morrison in the electorate of Lilly, who the Australian Electoral Commission have referred to the Australian Federal Police over his electoral enrolment. A very, very serious issue indeed.
And nonetheless, Anthony, I mean, this report in Victoria, when I'll just finish here, it said these unethical practices are embedded within the Victorian Labor branch and are systemic to all the factions. Now, Victorian Labor is asking the voter to vote for them on Saturday. How does the voter get around that kind of criticism?
We've cleaned up the branch, Alan. We took strong action. We expelled people from the Labor Party in Victoria, including state MPs, including I took action against John Setka, the head of the CFMEU. I took strong action. Where I see wrongdoing, I'll act. The current Prime Minister sees wrongdoing and just waves it all through.
In your launch last weekend, your basic premise was that you'd make things better and you would shape the future. You launched in Perth. The coalition has 3 seats at risk. Headline inflation there 7.6%. The price of new homes in Perth rose 16% in the March quarter. Rents have gone through the roof. But the cost of living is about, as you know, the cost of everything that people buy, which they can't do without. Now, this is not a gotcha question, but when 27-year-old Laura from Mount Isa, talking about the cost of groceries, said, if you visit Brisbane or the Sunshine Coast, capsicums aren't $14.90 a kilo. How does Laura suddenly find capsicums would be cheaper under an Albanese government?
What Laura will find is that we have practical measures to take pressure off cost of living. If Laura has kids, there'll be cheaper childcare for 96% of people, and I'm sure that would include Laura. We'll have cheaper energy prices by $275 cheaper by 2025. We'll have cheaper medicines if she needs them for herself or her family. We'll make it easier to see a doctor. We also have a range of measures on housing affordability as well. We also have a plan to lift wages so that Laura or her family, in terms of their work, can be paid a more secure wage. Alan, one of the things that concerns me about this country right now is we have 500,000 Australians who are working 3 jobs or more. They're really doing it tough. And the government, if you look at its advertising during this election campaign, where it's all assumes that life is easy for people. I know that people are doing it tough, which is why we need that structural change to look after people.
Well, look, we've got another...